Hey, boys and girls, I hope you got your KWL chart completed and ready to rock and roll. Now, I do not know what you guys have in your K column. I do not know what you guys know yet. I do not know what you want to know. And I certainly don't know what you have learned yet because we haven't read the chapter yet. But when you get done with this and you have finished your KWL chart, that is going to be what you turn into me. So if you want to use the PDF that I give to you in the Google Classroom, that's fine with me. If you want to use your personal piece of paper, take a picture of it and send it to me, that's fine as well. I do not mind. Whichever way you want to send me your work is fine with me. Okay? So just make sure that you remember I said that because that goes for everything we do, including the math. Okay? So this is a chapter out of oceanography. And we went over a little bit of this book yesterday because it's got tons of really cool captions and pictures in it. And I'm going to read to you chapter 4. It's called Amazing Sea Life. That's why we titled our KWL chart Sea Life. So I'm going to start reading, and you guys fill out your KWL chart as we go. Chapter 4, Amazing Sea Life. The oceans are home to some of the most unusual organisms on the earth. Some algae have tiny air-filled balloons that help them float near the water's surface. The mimic octopus pretends to be a sea snake, a poisonous fish, or a jellyfish to escape danger. So if you look over here, there's the mimic octopus right there in a caption. Got its own page. I would highly recommend you go Google this particular creature. He is amazing, or she is amazing. They are amazing. They are incredibly good at mimicking other animals. So you should go check it out. They are really cool. The blobfish floats above the seafloor waiting for slow-moving prey to drift by, and the clownfish finds safety among poisonous sea anemones. All sea creatures depend on one another for food or protection. Small but important. The upper layers of the ocean receive the most sunlight. Billions of microscopic plants and animals live in this region. These organisms, called plankton, depend on water movements to wash them around. The tiny plants use the sun's energy to produce food. The animals feed on other plankton that drift by. Although these organisms are smaller than pinheads, they are quite important to ocean life. So if you look at these guys, they are microscopic. So that is from underneath a microscope. Kind of crazy looking things. Tubes with little hairs on the end of them. And it says plankton are just the right size for newly hatched fish to eat. And it says they're magnified several times. So just from those captions right there, we've learned an awful lot about plankton, about what it looks like, and also that it's got to be extremely small if that is magnified many times. Very young fish feed almost entirely on animal plankton. They dart after these weak swimmers and swallow them whole. Some fish continue to eat plankton as adults. Humpback whales eat plankton that they filter from the water. Sponges and tube-dwelling worms also eat plankton. So do the tiny animals that build coral reefs. Without plankton, many sea creatures would not survive. That's interesting. Something that tiny supports something that large. Wow. Nature's cool, right? Let's go to the next page. Eat or be eaten. Eating is only one thing animals do to survive, another to keep from being eaten. To avoid becoming another animal's meal, many animals use camouflage. Camouflaged animals have unusual colors, patterns, or limbs. These help them blend in with their surroundings. The leafy sea dragon is one such fish. It appears to have stems and leaves growing from its body. Predators see this plant and pass right by. So if you look at that, you see the caption? It says, it is difficult to spot a well-hidden leafy sea dragon. So he's right in the middle of the page. Kind of looks like that squiggly line. But he blends in really well, so to a fish passing by, this guy looks like a piece of leaf. And they just let him live. Pretty cool, right? He's using mimicry just like that octopus. Sea slugs use warning colors. These soft-bodied, slow-moving animals are easy targets, but their bright, shocking colors tell predators that they are poisonous and to keep away. Many butterfly fish fool their enemies another way. These fish have a large black spot near the tail. The spot looks a lot like an eye. Predators snap at that spot, hoping to bite the fish's head. Instead, they get a mouthful of water as the fish shoots away. So you see that big black dot on the back of his tail? A lot of fish think that's an eye, and they'll go and they'll try to bite him, and he gets to swim away. Lives to swim another day, right? All right. Last couple of pages. Sea animals are built for ocean life. Whales, for example, must breathe air before they dive for food. However, many whales can hold their breath underwater for more than an hour. Crabs often lose their legs to predators, but they can grow them back later. Jellyfish cannot chase after food, but they can sting and paralyze fish that wander by. Seals have extra body fat to insulate them, keeping them warm in icy waters. If you look down here, that is a jellyfish on the left, and you can see that fish, and that poor old fish has swam into that jellyfish's tentacles, and those tentacles have paralyzed that fish, and he will consume that fish and eat it. Okay? Jellyfish don't have any bones, by the way. Something you could write down. But this is really cool. Some animals in the ocean, they can illuminate themselves. Okay, and it's called bioluminescence. And let's read this. Living lights. What do animals in the deepest, darkest waters do if they need light? They make their own. This is known as bioluminescence. The bodies of bioluminescent animals contain a special chemical. It combines with oxygen to produce light like the blue and the comb jelly below. Some animals flash their lights to attract mates. Others use them to catch prey. The anglerfish dangles a lighted organ from its head. Smaller fish come to check it out and are quickly swallowed. That'd be another really cool word to go and Google is the anglerfish. That word right there, right towards the bottom on the right hand, 3 lines up from the jelly. That's a really interesting creature. Very ugly, but he's got a great way of catching some food. So listen, boys and girls, I appreciate you listening to me. Go ahead and finish that KWL chart for me and take a snapshot of it and send it to me. And that is all we have for reading today. And if you would, write down somewhere which one of the captions was your favorite. I know I got my favorite, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.